Idwa, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Backwards Talking with Spencer. So, kind of like the last episode where I talked about COVID, which has obviously been in the headlines for the last year and a half. Yay, get vaccinated. I'm going to just talk about some other random things that have been sort of in the news recently. I made the list a couple of weeks ago, so it's slightly outdated, but it's still fairly pertinent, or at least a couple of the things are. So, let's talk about the first one. The first one is cicada. Actually, the first two words are both cicada related. Cicada, this is actually a word that I figured out how to say a number of years ago just because I wanted to figure it out. Brood 10 is what happened recently. It's in the New England area, I think. This is the 17-year cicada for that region, as far as I understand. But I'm in the Chicago area, and we get cicadas almost every year, as I think a lot of the country does. And I came home yesterday, and I was walking under a tree right in front of my place, and the cicadas were rather loud. And this wasn't even a 13-year or a 17-year or anything like that. So, lots of places just get cicadas crazy. So I can't even imagine what it's like right now in the Northeast with Brood 10. Brood 10 is going to be the other one that I'm going to do in this episode. All right, so cicada. This is kind of a fun word. Let's see. So cicada, that's the first syllable we're going to do. Da backwards is ud. It's a wonderful word. Cicay, that's the next one. K backwards would be yak. Cicay, yak. Yeah, I think that's pretty close. Yak. And then the last syllable is si. Si backwards would be is. So what do we have? Let's see. I'll do it syllable by syllable, but I think it's going to come out a little bit differently when we put it all together. Ud, yak, is. Ud, yak, is. All right, let's just record just the word cicada, see what that sounds like. This is a very repetitive and monotonous series of videos. We do the same thing, but the words are different. Cicada. Backwards time. Uryahf. Yeah. Uryahf. So let's say that backwards and make sure that we said it correctly, but basically cicada backwards is uryahf. Let's try that. Uryahf. Cicada. I like the that middle syllable. Uryahf. Let's hear it again. Cicada. Cicada. Yeah, it's not uryahf. It's cicada. That's a fun way to say that word. So, hey, out there in the Northeast and other places, you got some cicadas. All right, let's do Brood 10, just because that's the brood that's happening right now. Brood 10. 10 is going to be the first syllable that we do, and that's just net. Now, we might not be able to emphasize the T very much, but we'll just say net or net. Probably like that. And then brood. This is sort of a weird word. It's also one syllable, so that's good. Brood. I would probably say doorb. Doorb. I kind of like that word. Let's just say Brood 10 and see what that sounds like. Brood 10. Nedoorb. Yeah, the D from brood and the T from 10 sort of get combined. Let's hear it again. Nedoorb. It's very silly. All right, let's just try it, and let's see what happens. Nedoorb. Oops, I forgot to stop recording. I think I may have to cut part of that off. Let's just do that right now to make our lives easier. Whoa, what happened there? We got two of them? No, that's not right. Oh boy. The program is freaking out. All right, there we go. Rude and oh, that's not too bad. Let's hear it again. Rude and brood 10 sounds a little weird, but it's pretty close. It's pretty close. So what was that? Nedoorb. Yeah, I think that's fine. Okay, so another thing. Okay, the next two are disasters. What? There's disasters happening? Climate change is happening, and it's making all these natural disasters across the world? This is a fun video. Yay. So floods. There have been some crazy, crazy, crazy floods around the world, especially in Europe, because lots of rain happening in one day, like unimaginable amounts of rain. Why is this happening? We know why this is happening. So do what you can to stop climate change. I'm looking at you, countries and corporations, but people too. All right, so flood says, I love these single syllable words. Flood is pretty easy. Let's just say it slowly. Yeah, we'll just figure it out first. Flood. Dulf. Flood. Dulf. 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 All right, let's say flood into the magic recorder machine and see what happens. Flood. And it sounds like Dulf. Yeah, there's a little bit of that sound at the beginning from flood, but yeah, Adolf, 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 Adolf Hitler. No, we're not going to go there. All right, so let's just say that, make sure we have it correct. Adolf. Flood. Yeah, that's pretty good. Probably one of the best ones I've ever heard. Flood. Flood. They Might Be Giants have an album called Flood. All right, so the last one we're going to do is, again, it's another natural disaster that's happening. Let's talk about it a little bit. It's the word fire. The fires. Now, there are fires that are natural that happen all the time in places like Oregon and California and other places, and they're normal. But the last few years, especially because of climate change, they have been exponentially worse than they are normally. And it is a big, big problem. So the word fire, it's almost two syllables. Fire. Let's try that one first. Ur would be uri. Let's just say Say fire. So the last syllable would be is just It doesn't change. It's just a sound. And then fi, it's kind of like I with an F at the beginning. So it would be yaf. So uryahf. Let's play that. Let's say fire. Fire. And that sounds like uryahf. Yeah, uryahf. Let's play that. Let's record that and make sure we're good. Uryahf. And uryahf backwards sounds like fire. Fire. Yeah, that's it. Those are all the words that we're gonna do today. Yay for that. So the words that we recorded today that I taught you how to say backwards are cicada, which is uryahf. Cicada. Next we have nedoorb. Next is dulf. Flood. And finally, uryahf. Fire. So that's it. I hope you are enjoying these. If you are watching this, if you are just some random person watching this video, go ahead and click that subscribe button. Because why not? There's no skin off your back, and it helps me out. I need all those subscriptions because it makes me feel better when I go to sleep at night. And you can check out my podcast called The Dictionary, where I read the dictionary and I comment on it and I make jokes, and it's fun and educational and it's family friendly. And then you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram if you want, at SpeedJamPar. The Dictionary Podcast also has Twitter and Instagram, which are at DictionaryPod, if you want to go check those out. I think that's it. Bjarks Bus. Subscribe.